Thank you guys for waiting.
Yeah, man.
Overall setting to the world.
Live and direct.
You see me now, make that two man. Guess what we're going to talk about today? We're going to talk about today.
Relationship.
Like me, I shift. I'm going to for the man I love or the one I wish I don't love.
Well, you know, you have enough love to share for everybody, you know, so
Exactly.
that's how you go. You have enough love.
Well, we're basically talking to you live from the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, and sisterly affection,
And
you know.
sisterly affection.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
Philadelphia.
world. Oh, God. Overall settings.
And settings is the overall.
Come on,
Yeah.
people.
The
Come
podcast that what?
Differs.
Differ because
Because
we
we
differ
differ.
from the norm.
We just
Wow, that's
differ
right.
from them.
Really. So, as I said, we're talking about a thing called relations shift. When they shift, like how do you determine when it's over? And why sometimes when people know that it's over, they still stick around?
Right.
What is the definition of true love?
Somebody told me one time that they wanted to leave the relationship. I'm not going to say a male or a female, but they wanted to leave the relationship. But it seemed like the person didn't have enough money. So the person I said, well, you know, I should stay around because my bills need to pay.
Right.
So that maybe that's one of the things that most people don't want to leave because they don't think they could be on their own, or maybe they can't afford whatever their needs. So I think that's one of the time when people really supposed to check yourself and know. So well then, if you're around a relationship that's not working, forget about financial. It's about peace of mind and how you carry yourself and heart, soul, less blood pressure and all them things. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what you should be thinking about. You shouldn't think about anything like that. So I understand still. I'm not going to knock nobody for what they're doing, but at the end of the day, that's a shift right there you should make. Not a shift, a shift.
I heard that a lot of people stay in relationships because of convenience.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you've been involved with somebody for a long time, and the reality of the situation is that you just don't know anything else, or you just got like this used to thing where you don't want to start over.
Exactly.
You know
Because
what I
change.
mean? Yeah,
People are
exactly.
scared, they're afraid of change.
Exactly.
Change of environment, change of love, change of whatever. But can I say something, guys?
Yeah, man, definitely.
You guys are talking from a guy's point of view.
That's
Let me
what-
say a
that's
little
what-
bit from a woman's point of
That's what
view.
the name override settings. So you can talk whenever time you want, you know what I mean?
Most of the time, a woman may stay in a relationship because of material things, because of the fact that she's afraid, or maybe the fact that they have children, especially in a marriage. People will stay because of the children. Oh, I don't want to break up. Let's break up. And when the kids them go to high school, let's break up. When the kids them go to college, it's like you keep on want to break up. At some point, you end up breaking up later on in life when you're golden age, and which is not good, you know. And also, people can stay together just because of what? Fame. Maybe because you look good, let's talk about a little Hollywood here. I look good with you, so let's stay together for 5 years and we make both become big.
So that subject, this subject is a very, very touchy subject, right? I'm going to tell you why this subject is touchy, because everybody can have their own views why they should stay in it or out of it. I'm not disagreeing with her what she just said. Erica, I'm saying her. Well, you're her, right?
It's on her.
So I'm not disagreeing with you. What I personally, I grew up without that because you have a kid, or because I don't think I turned out too bad. Thank you, Mama Joy. Rest in peace. And thank you, Joy. Yes, big Mama Joy. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm not disagreeing with her because it's real like that. But sometimes, that's the way it is. You can't go around it, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta just let it go.
We have a big audience. We have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Instagram. Come on, guys, what is your opinion on that?
Like and share.
You can call in too.
Yeah, man, 215.
Like and share. Subscribe.
758-1196 if you want, or if you want your face seen on the live, you can actually come on the live as well.
Exactly.
Just join the chat, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about, being interactive. Because our way is not the only way. We already checked our egos at the gate 5 episodes ago since we set out on this journey. You know what I'm saying?
Overall setting.
You know what I mean? Because this is not only our platform just because you see us here on it.
Right.
This is for you guys. You know
Please,
what I'm saying?
guys, call
Like, we
in.
want to provide a voice for the voiceless. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the people who aren't able to express their thoughts or their feelings, we might say something that might trigger like, yo, you know what? I'm
Right.
going to anonymously call in and
Right.
say how I feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, so we're giving you that opportunity to have an outlet because we all need that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, I can.
And also, if you look at life as it is right now with the COVID-19, a lot of relationships are shifting because mom and dad have seen each other way too much. There's the stress level is there. You got to take care of the children, the household, the bills, you know, and we don't have too much vacation time. Can we go anywhere? So things are going to shift.
Yeah, it's funny that you would say that.
That's
the ultimate test.
Yeah, that's tricky.
That's the
though.
ultimate test.
How I should deal with you on that level right now because there's a time for us to be
Right.
together.
Right.
We're supposed to see each other, find out what's going on.
Exactly.
Instead of we just like drift apart, instead of we supposed to be together because that's what family is supposed to happen.
Right.
A
Right.
family dinner around the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or even a family dinner in the yard, wherever we is. One of us have a fence and have the family here. You know what I mean? So that I don't think that should really make it a difference. But I understand what, you know.
Yeah, well, but like even what Erica said, Counselor, when she said that basically you have people who normally on a daily, and that's another reason why a lot of people actually stay because you find other things to do. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're in a if you're in a situation where
Brother,
no,
open the door there.
no what me?
Wow.
In a situation where you have people who are in these dead-end relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they might have like some extracurricular activity going on outside of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's how wife, and we're in our terminology, end up with like matey. You know what I'm saying? So you have a girl where the man go check regular. You know what I'm saying? Because
matey.
wifey is at work,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, or kids is at school. But now that everybody is at home, it's like really getting tested now because
There's
certain
no,
things.
that's not limited outright, right? What
exactly.
you trying to say, people?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, before, you know, now it's like more brazen. You know what I mean? If they actually go out, you know what I mean? It's like, wow.
Because the street itself even changed because of that. Because of that.
That's a good point.
Because when you come outside, you know, right now you can't really cough no more and you can't really sneeze no more without somebody saying something to you. But that's not really,
have allergy
that's
season.
not really what
Allergy
we're talking
season.
about. Say, but I'm not saying in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
So can I say? I mean, go ahead. I want to continue.
if I personally believe in myself, this is my point of view. I think that togetherness with each other, I'm not saying it should be under each other every day, every single day. But that togetherness supposed to mean a lot. It's not just about hugging up and raving, just that your presence is here. I know you're in that room over there, and I'm in this room over here. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different kind of
Let's
feeling
do
with
more
that.
body language.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
And also, wait a second. You guys are saying that. You know, it draws me back to this point. Men. You know, you have your man cave in your home, and your men you like quiet time. You all, overall, you guys will say, women can be nag, but it's more like she wants your attention. So you have your children that need extra attention at this time, and then here comes your spouse. She wants attention too. But as a man, you're like, I need some time to think. I need some time for myself. What do men do in this time?
I'm not too disagree with you, but from a man point of view, I tell you this in a real life. I've been on this earth for 52 years. Give me a round of applause. Thank you very much. 52 years I've been on this earth for. Thank you, thank you, Lord. You hear me?
Look good.
This is what's going on. It's not that I'm talking about me personally, because I've been there on that. Yeah, it's not because we don't want to give you that attention. You see that time. You see sometimes we as man we just want to have that time to think. It's the same way you're looking for attention.
Right.
It's not because you don't get the attention, you don't get the hug you want it,
Right.
because you wanted to say something and I don't respond. Sometimes we're thinking about a master plan. You know what I mean? From my point of view. Sometimes we have a master plan, and by the time this master plan going on, because I didn't pay you attention, I'm there in your sight, but because you didn't pay attention, you say something to me, and that trigger and stop me from thinking about the master plan. So sometimes it's not even about not because we don't need you and we don't have your attention because he's Mother Earth.
Right. So
Is
sometimes,
that it?
okay.
I think
Excuse me.
that one of the biggest parts of relationships that fail is because it's very kind of simple and complex at the same time. But in life, in every aspect of life, what I've always learned was that the same way you start out is the same way you end up.
Usually.
And
No.
a lot of times, when we're getting into these relationships with these people, which brings us back to, mindful mating, you don't set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, before you even indulge in a person or tell them how much you like them or profess your love to them, you got to find out, like, what they like, what you don't like about the person. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it's like the physical attraction or, like you said, sometimes the fame or the financial stability or whatever it is, and everything else becomes hindsight, and then boom, there's a kid in the picture. Or you're pressured into a marriage because of, family values or whatever the situation may be. And then before you know it, 3-4 years down the line, you find out like, yo, I really like this person.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, you know what also sparked when you said that? Let's go back to your grandmom age. I wish a grandmom out there would call right now. Remember, back in the days, women were the home bred. They take care of the home, the children, they take care of the garden, basically almost everything. And the men will go out to work. Not that I'm saying that it was okay, but back then, when the men come home, he's happy to come home because when he come home, he find more a relaxed wife, so to speak. And I'm saying she's not coming from work like you're coming from work. She's like, oh God, honey, can you cook tonight? No, the food's already cooked there. Not saying that she was slave. Sometimes the man will come home and cook also. But you think in that time, back in the 70s, 60s, further back to even the 20s, 30s, why relationship didn't shift that much? You think it's because the women were less in demand of the job and the job force?
I'm gonna touch on that subject as well. I feel like the way that things are traditional, even from then time there till now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you really analyze it, like just really analyze this and think about it. Now, in the world that we live in now, and the narrative that's being pushed, the man should go out and go work, correct? The man should go out and go work, woman working or whatever. But when you really analyze it, if a man is working, if the average man don't have, you know what I'm saying, like, if he don't have like a certain education, that's going to put him in a certain tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to end up after working harder. So if this man has a family now, someone like me 25 years, out of the 25 year, 15 year, I work 2 jobs, right? When we get up in the morning, my child sleep. By the time I get off from work, she sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm going out of the house 15, 16 hours a day, how are you developing any kind of bond or relationship with your family? You know what I'm saying? And then now you got the television pushing a certain narrative. You know what I mean? They're watching soap operas where it's like people cheating. They got friends talking to them and all of that type of stuff, and you're not around. Even though you genuinely want to be around, but the way that society's set up, you just basically can't be around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what happens? What happens? Relations do what? They shift.
They shift for real.
Exactly.
They shift for real. They shift.
What do you have to say about that? Is it my time now? Well, listen now. Oh, we have somebody in the audience.
We have somebody who would like to come out and come on.
Would you like to come and join
Come on in. No, we got to talk off camera.
Mishibu,
they don't want to talk.
you're there. Mishibu in the building.
Mishibu, after
Mishibu
that,
in the building.
settings in the house.
Question,
Don't make
Mishibu.
it-
What is the question?
We want to make it PG, make it PG.
What is the
I want to
question?
ask you a simple question. Since as you said, leave like, sorry guys, you leave certain hours, right?
Talking at the
When
mic.
you leave and you went to work, but your wife do,
Work?
she go to work too?
No, she home. She usually
Or
she
she
working
stay
still.
home
If she
and
got
keep the
kids
baby.
home,
She stay home and keep the baby?
Well, more time to probably work too.
How much hours she work?
She probably work the same amount of hours I work.
But guess what? You know about compromise, right? if it reaches that test and you guys working for a goal, I
Right.
don't see no problem coming in it. Hey, you know where you're going for, and she know where she's going for. And you got a baby, so sometimes grandma will here, so we drop the baby over grandma, or sometimes send the baby to Jamaica, or sometimes we say, you know what, we're gonna pay for the baby time. Married couple, husband and wife, are boyfriend and girlfriend, or baby man, we don't have to take out a time
It's true.
for each other.
It's
Because
true.
if you don't get to, you wanna
No, go. I'm gonna
if
let
you
you
don't
finish.
get to take out that time, then here comes the problem. Because either me too busy or you too busy. So you have to make the rule. It's playtime today. You know what's playtime? Anki Panky. And kids can stay. Come home a little bit earlier.
Right.
What do you think about it?
I get everything that you're saying, but once again, I don't want you to lose my point. Every scenario that you just said, if you're not dealing with a person that's mentally built like that or emotionally built like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm gonna give you a classic example.
Right.
All Jamaicans here, right?
Keep going.
And
Yes.
all Jamaicans here, I'm
We're
basically,
gonna shift. We're gonna
I'm basically shifted. Sorry, guys. And one of the things with Jamaicans, and or just immigrants in general, is a lot of times what happens is you migrate. And sometimes when you migrate, it's not everybody get to go at the same time.
Yes.
So it might be the mom leaving first or the dad leaving first or whatever the situation may be.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And-
strict.
and
No,
I-
hold on one second. Don't confuse them. Remember, sometimes families shift to different countries. That's what we're talking about right now, guys. Listen keenly.
So what I'm saying is, even though all of these things, like mentally, you know, your man is going because he has to go get that bread or whatever. But some people want that closeness and need that closeness, require that closeness.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, your man they are foreign for a year, 2 years. Never to be seen until, you know what I mean, or whatever. You're talking on the phone or whatever.
All right.
You know what I mean? So, let me finish. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean, if you're not mentally or spiritually or even physically built like that, then the relationship is going to shift.
Exactly.
It's going to shift. You know what I'm saying? Like what you're talking about, you know, is somebody of a strong mind, you know what I mean, and they're attached to this person, but you don't must necessarily be involved with somebody who feel the same way. Because there are people who come here, you know what I mean, undocumented, and then 9 times out of 10, the only way that they can get is to get married to somebody else.
And 16
That's a
was a
whole
day.
different
And 16
story,
was a
but
day
I
out the
understand
house.
that.
Exactly.
Right. But
So I get what you're saying. Like, yes, in a perfect world, just like, yeah, people supposed to look both ways across the street. Do they do it?
No.
Exactly. So what you're saying is like, yeah, common sense would tell you you love a person, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna compromise,
It's the rule
but
book, that's the thing.
in this reality that we live in, especially the way that the system is set up, if you tied into working 2 jobs and your wife gotta work, there's something wrong right there anyway.
so basically, we're having systematical relationship, and that's what caused it to be shifting. Is that a point right there?
Yeah, it's a lot of things that cause it to
I'm
shift.
telling
I
you.
want to ask a quick question.
You see, well, on, Mishibu. Mishibu, the question we asked is a really good question. I'm going to tell you why. You see, the thing about it is like, if both of you is on the same page, it will
It
work.
will work.
It must work.
It's
true.
You dig? But if both of if I'm over here making the money and you over there criticizing,
over there,
whether man or
right.
woman, and you over there criticizing, and you know, so me take care of everything, and you are saying, now you're supposed to come to me instead of you say, I'm doing working too much. You're supposed to come to me and say, babes, which day we can do this and do that.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah,
we want it to work. you know.
Right.
Not want it to
Yes,
work.
us.
So if we want it to work, we have to take that time out to do it. So
Initiative.
if you sit beside whether a man or woman at work, whosoever working, and you just say, boy, he or she at work too much and they don't have no time for me. That's where the shift come in.
I want to ask the next question. You think because we want to be movie star, get a movie star, because when we see the movie star had long pretty hair and all that, so
That's a whole
we
different.
want all that stuff, we want the glitter and the gold, because sometimes you get a man and you ain't working up, but he red eye, just like a lady red eye. So him same friend with it, him to reach the level, but him try to jump to the ladder, but him should have fixed this before he jump over. Because when he jump over, he's going to jump into the hole.
That's
so
what.
you think that because of money and all of these clothes, ears, car.
No. You see.
Back
It could be a distraction. It could.
Back in the days, we used to, women used to comfortable whatever their man give them.
That's what the woman said. They never get a chance to express themselves really until they went.
I should breathe 12 times and 13 times.
Yeah, because that's what she have to do. That's what she have to do. She never even to get a chance to express herself until it was
They're not greedy, she greedy.
No, she never get a chance to express herself until it was feel because like you said, like what I said, the whosoever provided the bread never won.
Yes.
So by the time he come home at sleeping time, by the time he wake up at work time, by the time he come home work sleeping time. See?
But what I realize that everything when I talk about goes right back to what I said. Boundaries.
No, yeah.
Boundaries.
That's do it.
So if you don't, come and tell her the reality of the situation is, if you really don't know who you're getting your, because remember, the first thing, by nature, the person, it's very seldom you in this day and time, and that's what my experience, where you're going to see the person for who they really are when you just meet them. You know what I'm saying? Because like, based on my, with my experience with relationship, most of the time, when a man see a girl, it's like, he's physically attractive to this girl. When, I don't know from a woman's standpoint, but based on what I know, you guys are ladies, so maybe you can elaborate more. But most of the time, when a woman see a man, it's like a sense of security, a sense of like somebody, like she want more from the relationship than just the physical aspect, based on when she looking at this guy.
Yeah, because basically they say women love with the think with the heart and men think with their head. This is not. This is PG-13. Read between the lines. We operate on that.
Please and thank you.
Elaborate on it later.
Please and thank you. Ma'am, let me tell you this. I know you all are the more stronger species, not by strength, but by, you know what I'm saying?
By faith.
Yes. But no, someone is so wicked, not you, but someone who wants.
Yeah, we are. You're not like that.
Me can't say that kind of no.
Yeah, but we can't get to it.
Where is this going? It has a point.
Wicked enough to stop it too. I'm not too wicked.
Anyway. Man wicked enough to tap it.
Yes, I agree too. I agree with that. If the man not the wicked, man tap it. You see what I'm saying? But this is what I say do. Most women, I never say all women, most of them will me dealt with. And I've been in this world for half a century now, so I've been around the world and you know what I'm saying?
Like that.
See it?
You ever date the wrong woman?
I think all of them.
Hold on 1 second.
No,
this thing is shifting.
You're not
this is
to do that one.
shifting a little bit.